Hey, what's going on, family? It's Dr. Tartt. What's going on with our kids? I mean, in September this year, the Surgeon General declared the national mental health of teens as a problem, as an emergency, saying we need to take action on this immediately, not only as psychologists, but as parents, as teachers, as counselors, as anyone that cares about the future of tomorrow. So when we look at it, they're looking at teens or stress levels are up in every area: anxiety, depression. They said they see more suicide attempts, suicidal ideation, and it's actually an increase in teen girls, which we have never seen an uptick in teen girls thinking about suicide. So it is at an all time emergency. So I want you to just sit back for a second and let's go through the 6 reasons why they're saying that teens are stressed. And so, me being a father of a teenager, this definitely alerted me. And I actually talked to Raquel about this. But this goes all the way down even to young kids. But today we're focusing on preteens, teenagers, and maybe even college students on why they are so stressed out. So, sit back and let's dive into these one by one. All right, man, this is crazy. All right. So, it's important that I address these things as a Christian psychologist, clinical psychologist, because this is what I do every day. Talk to teens, talk to preteens, talk to parents about how to get things back in order. When we think about mental health, a lot of times we don't think about kids, we think about adults. But today, I am going to open your eyes to what's going on with our kids. And me being a father of 2 daughters and a son on the way any day now, as the recording of this video, I am extremely interested in what the Surgeon General had to say. All right. So, number one, um, make sure you subscribe and like, and make sure you subscribe and like so that YouTube knows that y'all are watching this and y'all want more content like this. So go ahead and subscribe and push that like button. Let's go ahead and smash those likes so we can get more quality content so that more people can see it. But let's dive in. Number one, were you surprised by this? These are not in any particular order. We're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? It's school. I was shocked. I was like, school? Kids being stressed by school? Because when you sit and talk to them, they're like, I have it, I got it. I see that I'm not doing well, but why are you on me? Now, I'm gonna be honest, that is not the case. Well, with our daughter, she does her homework, she's knocking it out the park. But when I asked her about it, she confirmed it. I asked her what her level of stress was. She said about 7, 8, some days are 9 about school. One, she feels like she gets too much homework, right? She's taking a number of AP classes, IB classes, and even one of her classes called Tech Theater, they had to do a play which required her to be after school for like 3 weeks until 8, 9 o'clock at night. And she's an athlete. So I know I'm talking to y'all, right? So we combine these things, being athletics or working or having to take care of little brothers and sisters, whatever it is, like that homework and then being prepared for exams. Here's the thing that we missed is that kids were out of school during the pandemic. And while a small minority of kids were self-driven and did the homework and taught themselves and had really good quality instruction, the large majority of preteens and teens did not get quality instruction. Now, I'm not saying anything negative to the teachers, whether they didn't have good internet, they had to use their phone, teachers had to pivot at the last minute. Kids didn't show up to school, even with the rock star teacher. They would log on and go to sleep and have to have their cameras on. And so they fell behind. So they're coming back and they're having to make up what they didn't learn last year, while the teachers are pressured to go on to the next thing, because you're still a 10th grade teacher, even though they didn't get 9th grade or even 8th grade for that sake. You still have to move forward. All right. And then the pressure to do well. Like, even talented kids feel the pressure to live up to the universities and the colleges and mom and dad are working hard, or just mom is working hard, or just dad is working hard, or whatever it is, whatever situation, whether even if you're in foster care, like, the system allows me to be able to go to school, but I have to get in. I have to make the grades to get in. So the pressure to do well. All right. And then thinking about the future career related to school performance. Like, how am I going to go to college if I'm not even doing well? Do I even want to go to college? Right. If I don't go to college and I want to do gaming, which is a real career, how do I do that? They game all the time. Right. Like, and which game would I pick? Do I have afford the right equipment if I want to do something different. All right. So that's number one. So we start talking about school. Make sure that you're sitting down and you're talking to your teens about what's going on at school so that you can give them the right resources and allow them to be able to stress less. One of the things that we're working on with our oldest daughter is time management. I basically have said, you spend too much time studying, you already going to make a good grade in that. Do the least amount of studying to get an A or a B and keep it moving to something else so that you can relax or go on to the next subject. But staying up all night, every night, that's not hot. Number two, teens are stressed about relationships. All right. Not just relationships, with boyfriends or girlfriends or their partners or whatever. They're worried about like how friends see them. Like the average teenager I see tells me that they have a lot of friends on social media. So they have a lot of friends on TikTok, a lot of friends on Instagram, Snapchat. I think it's in that order. I think kids Snap, I think kids TikTok, and then they do Instagram. They definitely don't do Facebook. All right. And I don't even know about Twitter. All right. I know they do Discord. I see a lot of kids who are on Discord. All right. Mostly boys. All right. So so they see these social media posts where three of the friends are hanging out, but they're not in the picture. And they're like, why didn't you even call me? Right. But if you had never seen that, you wouldn't be stressed. Right. Sometimes mom says you can only have three. Or as dad, you say, look, I only have room in the car for three friends. So pick three friends. And sometimes they just pick the three friends that say yes, or the three friends that can get along. Right. Or whatever. And then you just happen to be the fourth friend that did not get invited. Now, if you didn't know about it, you'd be cool. But watching three of your friends hang out and you're sitting at home, you didn't get an invite. Oh, girls are thinking about that. Even boys are thinking about that. Right? They go to school and they say, what's up? And they see other guys. But who really, really knows what's going on in my world? Who rocks with me? Right? Like who invites me? All right. And so one thing you have to talk to your kids about is how to actually initiate social relationships. Sometimes you have to be the inviter. You have to invite your friends over to play video games. You have to invite your friends to go out to eat if you have the money. You have to invite your friends to go to the amusement park. You have to compliment other girls and actually comment deeply on their social media. What do I mean by deeply? Like, yo, I didn't know you play volleyball. That's amazing. How long have you been playing? Do you like your coach? Like really get into the world of your friends. And I can tell you the average teen does not have these interpersonal soft skills. Why? Because of this thing right here. Because of this right here, right? The phones, they're on their phones, but if you put them in front of someone, the average teen struggles to get that deep connection, family. Like what's really going on? I'm just keeping it real, right? All right. Number three, I say teens stress over life changes. And y'all know this. We didn't even think about this. We're like, why are teens stressed? But then the recent data says that 8 out of 10 American parents, adults, are stressed. Right? Our suicidal ideation, our anxiety and depression, our anger, our irritability, our mood ups and down, our relationship dynamics, whether we're in a relationship or not in a relationship or it's complicated, that trickles down. Kids are watching parents argue. They're also watching parents disconnect. They're watching mom go out and date and come back unhappy because they're watching dad have different women in his life and not be able to hold on. And then they're arguing. They see that conflict. They see the conflict of conflict with older brother, younger sister, whatever it is. And they take that to school. Teachers are saying they're seeing so many behavior problems following the pandemic simply due to stressed out kids slamming doors, kids cursing, kids going off, kids not doing their work, kids sleeping in the classroom, kids giving up on school and taking it out on teachers, kids having conflict with other kids, fights. You would think that would decrease with COVID, but they're saying there's an increase in every problem, right? And so think about it. Even kids change schools. That's a stressor. Whether you change in schools because you're going from middle school to high school to our elementary school to high school, middle school, or whether you just change in schools because you're moving, your parents don't like the quality of the education, it's overcrowded, you're going to a different school situation, having to make friends in a new environment in COVID where a lot of kids are, depending on what region of the country you're in, still having silent lunches to prevent the spread of COVID. It is very difficult to find friends, especially for girls and especially for non-verbal boys who are not involved in some type of sport or activity that naturally connects them. The pandemic, right? Like you didn't have opportunities for soccer and volleyball. And I know a lot of that has started back up, but a lot of kids lost that, or a lot of kids don't participate in that. Or they used to go to karate, they used to go to swim, and the parents just cut it out just due to safety reasons or money reasons, right? Or the schedule has changed at work, all right? And then grief and loss. Just like we've lost as parents, kids have lost grandmas, they've lost aunties, some of them have lost, unfortunately, siblings and parents, right? And teachers and coaches. So that's a lot of life changes for our teens to deal with, family. So we have to sit down and talk to them and measure our own stress level. And I'll ask you this: where's your stress level right now on a scale of 1 to 10? If it's above a 7, what are the chances that your teens, even your elementary school kids, don't see that? Family, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to actually go to counseling. We have to actually do self-care, take some time off, say no to other people and say yes to yourself. That cup needs to runneth over, right? So if you're pouring into your own cup of self-care, right? Like you're pouring into your own cup, right? If I pour into this thing, right? Let's see. Let's see. If I pour into this thing, right? I'm not gonna waste this. I actually want to drink this, and I have tea. I know y'all saying, get yourself together, brother. Get yourself together. But if I pour into this cup, y'all have to imagine, if I pour into this cup and it overflows, right? All right, that's how you want to live, in the overflow, right? But what we do is we try to pour from an empty cup, and I just don't have it. So I'm irritable. I'm upset. But if I pour into myself with self-care, all right, and it overflows, that means I'm able to the extra goes to my husband and my wife, goes to my kids, goes to my family, right? Goes to my foster kids. All right, I get the overflow. But when you don't take care of yourself, it's just conflict. And you actually end up having a domino effect of where your stress stresses out your kids go to school and act out, teacher calls, you go off on them, they go back off on you, and it's just big old stress sandwich. So we make sure that we are not doing that with our teens, that we are taking care of ourselves. I'm gonna be transparent. One of the things I added during the pandemic was I upgraded my haircut experience. I now go to a place where I get a shampoo, I get a cut, I get quality music, I get I get the little paraffin bags. I think that's where they put your hands in the wax. All right. And they put the bags around them. I get a massage, I get a nice quiet room in the back. It's called Boardroom Salon. All right. Shout out to my barber, Jennifer. All right. So I'm saying I did that. I also get micro needling. I'm securing my manhood. Tell y'all this, right? I'm gonna let my skin look good. I look at Devon Franklin, a good friend of mine. I say, skin looks good. I need that. Man, I'm stressed in this pandemic. So I get micro needling, y'all, like once every 6 weeks. And I absolutely love it. And the skin is starting to look good. That's something I do for myself, fam. I look at YouTube as well, right? That's where I'm really starting to get into YouTube more. I look at things that are interesting. I get into crypto. I get into venture capitalism, right? I'm taking a class with Dr. Rodney Sampson here in Atlanta through the Opportunity Hub, right? I'm just learning all these things I want to learn about money because it is a stress reliever. And yeah, I am watching all Apple TV shows and Netflix and Amazon Prime, and I even watch Godfather Harlem, which is on Epics. All right, I don't even know what else is on Epics. All right, so yeah, I'm taking care of myself because I can't let that stress trickle down to my wife and family, all right, to my kids. Y'all feel me? Number 4, feeling overwhelmed. All right, feeling overwhelmed, right? So too many things to do. Oh my goodness, kids are like especially if you have kids who are like my daughter's in student government. My daughter plays volleyball, and y'all know sports go year round. So now we're done with high school. Now we're into club volleyball. She's also part of the Black Student Union. She also does the things we ask her to do when it comes to church and chores and taking care of little sister and in classes. You feel what I'm saying? And still having a social life and learning how to drive. It's a lot of things on sister girl's plate. And I know y'all can relate because as parents, we're driving them around. I'm driving her to all these things, right? I'm having to wake up early to take her to student council that starts before school. Shame on you, school. I'm playing. All right. You have to get it done. It just is what it is. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. And so a lot of times kids are feeling unprepared for life, like time management. I'm having to talk to my daughter about that, right? Like you have to calculate how long it takes you to do something so we can go on to the next thing, to the next thing. Oh, and by the way, you need to be able to get adequate sleep. And there are a lot of kids who just feel it's overwhelmed with school. They don't know how to do it. All right. Parents, I can tell you the biggest thing that I'm seeing with students is that they need help. Right. The teachers are kind of programmed sometimes to say they can get it. Right. That's how they're hardwired. And you ask your teen, can you do it? They think of that as kind of like you saying, are you dumb? Right. When you say, can you do it? They hear, are you dumb? How can you not do it? So they say, I can do it. But then you look at the test grades, look at the quiz grades, look at the homework and completion. It's not there. So two things I want you to do as parents. One, provide structure. A lot of kids don't have structure. At work, we need structure. We have managers at work, right? I'm going to tell myself, I was behind on my continuing education for ministry, right? We have to do continuing education. I have a double dose as a psychologist and as a minister. I have to get both of those done. Ministry every year, psychology every 2 years, right? And I hadn't gotten it done. And they sent a note saying, we noticed you didn't open up the last video. You know it's due. As soon as I got that notice, I blocked off time to wake up earlier on Saturday and I went through the 3-hour class. Right. I needed that structure so that not only could I look at the class, but I could implement it when it comes to my own ministry versus doing it at the last minute. You don't want to cram ministry. You feel me? But when so many things coming at you, but I needed that structure as a man. As a doctor and a minister, I needed it. What do you think our 7th graders need, our 9th graders, our 12th graders, college students even need it? And that's why most athletic programs structure study time because they need the structure because they're busy. So number 2 is our kids need help. They need one-on-one tutoring or small group tutoring to help them get what they did not get. Now, some of that can be done by us, but we must be positive, right? And we must be competent. Right? If we're not positive and we're not competent, all we're going to do is stress them out and make them wish that we never asked to help them out. Right? So go ahead and get them a tutor, either through the school, private resources, and actually and have the kids study before the tutoring session so they can walk into tutoring saying, this is what I understands what I don't understand. I promise you, if you sit down with your son or your daughter and you help them out and you like do school with them, like pull up this assignment, let's do it. You'll begin to see the deficits between instruction and what your kid is getting. And there's multiple reasons why. All right. And then being able to help him or her strategize as to how to do it. Right. And so a lot of kids just feel like their skills are less than their level of expectations. Right. I don't have the study skills. I don't have the self-discipline skills, even when it comes to athletics, to perform at the highest level, right? To start JV, to start varsity, to play 2 sports, to manage that and homework, right? So we have to make sure that we're giving them the skills that they need to be successful, right? Number 5, overthinking. And I think this is not just teens. This is everyone. All right. We see a lot of teens that are thinking about big decisions like, should I transfer? Should I take accelerated classes? Should I take AP classes? Should I take dual enrollment classes? Should I take an SAT prep? I mean, these are the things that they're thinking about. Do I even want to go to school? I know my parents want me to go to college. And if I do want to go to college, my parents have the money. And what does that mean? Like, do I go to the community college for 2 years and then go to the school I really want junior and senior year? And what is that experience like? These are the things our kids are talking about. And I'm so glad I have access to them every day, not only through my daughter, but through the bevy of clients I see. I know y'all think I see mostly couples, but I see 60 to 7% kids and young adults. All right. I mean, and even kids, as young as 6, 7, 8 years old, right? I see them all the way up. So I see kids every day. So I'm just surprised at what they are thinking about. All right. They also are overthinking about emotional conflict with parents. Are they going to get a divorce? I heard that mom's talking about, they're having an affair. Dad was talking about, moving again for the job and mom's not feeling it. I mean, they are catching wind of all of this, right? Mom and dad are not liking a job. Dad got laid off. It's affecting retirement. We don't have enough income. They're thinking about not only thinking about it, but thinking about how they can solve that. Like, do they need to get a job, right? Mom and dad gonna break up. Like, do they have to like their bonus dad if the bonus dad is mean? Do they have to do they have permission to like the bonus mom if mom it feels some type of way, but the bonus mom is cool to them? Like, how do they manage that relationship? I mean, kids Just sit down and talk to them. If I've convinced you of nothing else, sit down and at least go through this list with your teens and say, are you thinking about these things? And let them open up, right? They're also stressed about resolving peer conflict. So they got into it and kids have kind of stopped rocking with them. How do they repair? Are there cliques? What does it mean to be a male and fit in? Right? What happens when you've been playing sports, but it comes to an end, right? For injury, you've lost, you fell out of love, your parents said no, you didn't make the team, whatever the case may be. You lost a large percentage of the season due to COVID. You had long haul. All these things are affecting kids. What do you do, Mike, when your life has been in athletics, but now it's not? Like, how do you reintegrate? How do you find yourself? How do you find yourself in general in middle school and high school? What do other kids think of you? And so there are a lot of kids that are overthinking without going to counseling, without taking actions. Overthinking only makes you more stressed. You want to think about it, plan, come up, get wise counsel. It says in the Bible, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. There's another scripture that says, therefore confess your sins, but really it's talking about your troubles one to another so that you can be healed, because the prayers of the righteous availeth much. In practical application, talk to other people about what you're going through so we can strategize and fix it. But there are a lot of kids that just stay in their heads and they don't trust people. They don't talk to people. They just retreat to their phones or in their brains, and their anxiety goes up, depression goes up, and they don't reach out to their brother and their sister who's going through the same thing, right? If a teen reaches out to another teen and says, I'm stressed, they're going to be like, me too. Let's share war stories, right? And let's support one another. Then the last one is lack of sleep, right? Medical Association, American Medical Association, American Pediatric Association says we all need 49 hours of sleep. Doesn't matter how you get it, whether it's 8 and 6 or 7 and 7, whatever the case may be, but you need 49 hours of sleep. And there are a lot of kids who are up on their phones at night. We know how addictive they are. They're studying, they're working, so many variety of reasons. But we need to make sure our teens are getting enough sleep, because it leads to mood swings. Y'all know just losing an hour of sleep leads us to be more irritable as adults. All right. Leads to poor decision making. You just sleeping, you just play whatever. I ain't got time to think about it, right? Just whatever. Bad decision making because you didn't have your full cognitive abilities because you were sleeping. And it leads to more poor interpersonal skills. Do you know that when you go without sleep for a period of time, you become a little paranoid? You think people are out to get you. You think your parents just want to just make your life a living hell for no reason. Or you think the teacher's out to get you. I'm not saying those things are not happening. Don't come at me, teens. I know they're happening. I'm with you in this office every day, but it just makes all of us just more irritable and moody, y'all. So if I've convinced you of nothing else, please talk to your teens. Talk to them, fam. Talk to them, find out what's going on. They don't want to be like this. They want help. All right. So if you like this, subscribe, push that like button, tell me what videos you want. Was this helpful? Was it impactful? What other videos you need? And send this and share this with everyone in your tribe so that we can make sure that our kids and ourselves are good. And for those of you that want, marriage help, you want relationship support, check us out, betterhusbandbetterwife.com. Check it out. You do a monthly coaching class for couples who want to be amazing. It is so much fun. So much fun. We had an intimacy expert come in and go through this questionnaire that it was just amazing to see couples saying, man, I'm ready to talk about intimacy. And so we're always doing new courses every single month. So join us every second Thursday at 9 p.m. It's only $97 a month, and you're locked in there. Online community. It's just an amazing community for those of you that just really, really want to have a rock star marriage, because your kids are watching. Your legacy is on the line. So I hope this helped. I'm Dr. Tartt. I love y'all. I pray that you put this into action and you get to talking to your teens today. Take care. God bless. And make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel.